Thank you for joining us today. I'm Battalion Chief John Lipsack with Charlotte Fire. I run the Public Information Division. Charlotte has potential to experience a significant snowstorm and ice event, possibly one of the most impactful winter storms that this area has seen in several years. Because of that, it's critical that residents take steps now to prepare before conditions begin to deteriorate. Over the next several days, you will continue to hear a consistent message from city and county officials. Make sure you have working smoke alarms and carbon monoxide detectors in your home. And once winter weather begins, stay off the roads. Unfortunately, this message carries weight today. Early this morning, Charlotte Fire experienced a fatal fire in the south end of town, where no working smoke alarms were present. Situations like this underscore how important these simple safety measures are when it comes to this type of event. Today, we are joined by several community partners who will share important information on staying safe during this storm and how the City of Charlotte and Mecklenburg County is prepared. Joining us today are Division Chief White Graham, Charlotte Fire and Director of Charlotte Mecklenburg Emergency Management, Karen Pelletier, Director of Community Support, Mecklenburg County, Stephen Bolt, Superintendent of Streets, Charlotte DOT. Chief Graham.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's good to see all the media here. Clearly, you're here because this is a significant storm, or we think it's going to be a significant storm. After Helene, we don't take anything for granted. And so when all the meteorologists that we talk to, and there's quite a few of them, have nothing good to say about the storm, and we are very concerned. And so first and foremost, I just want to remind, I really need everybody to understand that starting tomorrow afternoon, we're going to see deteriorating conditions in the Charlotte region across the state of North Carolina, and we need people to stay off the roads. This is going to be a multi-day event. Monday, the roads we expect to be terrible, but Charlotte will be fine. We'll be fine. We just have to get through the next couple days. What we don't want to have is anybody get killed or seriously injured during the storm. And so that's why we're asking everybody to stay home. The other thing to remember, this is not a snowstorm. This is not a storm where you want to go out and play, have your kids outside. We need people to stay off the roads or anywhere near the roads because we have to have our firefighters, our police officers, our paramedics, our nurses, all the key staff that have to go to and from work, that they're able to travel. Also, for those of you that were here in 2002, that was, up until that time, the busiest day the Charlotte Fire Department has ever experienced. So with very serious winter conditions, we're going to see an increase in fires, we're going to see an increase in rescues, we're going to see an increase in emergency services vehicles, and CMPD is well represented here today. And for this storm, we will be working very closely with CMPD, medic, and everybody else, but we have to allow them to do their work. The Emergency Operations Center will activate tomorrow afternoon, Saturday afternoon, based on the current forecast. But to be honest, we've been very busy all week, and all the emergency management staff, along with all of our partners, have been doing just terrific work. A state of emergency has been signed by several of our chief elected officials, and the rest are working to get those signatures. A state of emergency will go into effect tomorrow at noon. And it will open up the emergency operations plan, which is our plan here in Charlotte, Mecklenburg County, on how we bring all of government to bear on our most challenging issues. It will also prohibit price gouging, so I want to make sure that that's out there. Of course, I think the governor also does that. But price gouging is always an issue during storms, and we want to make sure that does not happen. And it will allow us to upstaff our public safety and essential employees. The Mecklenburg County Extreme Cold Weather Plan is also in effect, and warming shelters are open across the county to support residents. Karen Pelletier, our wonderful partner from the county, will be speaking about that next. Charlotte Fire is increasing staffing, as we've already indicated, and we are actively preparing. We are prepared to open shelters along with our partners across the county if needed. Supporting our residents in Mecklenburg County. What we need people to do is make a plan. I think I saw one of our meteorologists earlier talking about this is not a bread and milk type situation. This is actual preparation time. And so we need you to make sure you have everything you need and that you're checking with your family and your neighbors. And so this is always a good time to check with your neighbors. Prepare for icing below freezing temperatures for several days. And so what happens in Charlotte, and we've seen this before, we start having a lot of burst pipes across the city. 311 will be open over the weekend, and so we want to make sure that people have a place to call for non-emergency incidents that they may need assistance from the government with. Build a kit, make sure you have enough food and water, medications, and essentials for your family. Have emergency supplies in your home, including flashlights, batteries, battery-operated radios, medical supplies, non-perishable foods, and a fully charged cell phone. Gather supplies before the winter weather begins. Travel is going to be difficult. Stay tuned to your local news, and usually I tell people I have 2 or 3 ways of getting news. I know we have radio in here, we have television, but we encourage everybody to have an emergency radio, okay? So the internet's probably going to be down. A lot of the power outages are going to be down. And with that, you're going to have down power lines. Stay away from any live down power lines. Stay away from all power lines that are down. If it's down, assume that it's alive. We don't want anybody to get anywhere close to a power line. Make sure if you have generators, you know how to operate them, and that they are not inside and at least 20 feet away from any structure. Make sure you have working carbon monoxide detectors and smoke alarms. And make sure that if you're doing any kind of cooking on something that you don't typically cook, you don't want to bring inside. And so we've done this a long time, right? So I remember major ice storms in Charlotte, and I've seen folks bring in charcoal stoves. I've seen folks bring in turkey fryers. I've seen folks use drywall heaters to try to heat their homes. That is not a good idea. Make sure you know what you're doing if you run out of power. And always, we talked about 311, and we definitely want to make sure that people sign up for Charmeck alerts, and you get that at charmeckalerts.org. And that is all I've got for today. I cannot reiterate enough, we're going to be fine, but we need people to listen, and please stay off the roads. Take care of yourself, your neighbors, and your family. So Karen, next.
Thank you, Chief Graham. So my name is Karen Pelletier. I am the Division Director of Housing Innovation and Stabilization Services with Mecklenburg County. And I appreciate everyone's curiosity here to learn more about what we are doing to help serve our most vulnerable neighbors in Charlotte, Mecklenburg, and those are our individuals that we have living unsheltered throughout our county. And so Mecklenburg County has a strong history of partnership with the folks here and with our emergency shelter providers and our homeless response team. And so like any other day, we are always working to ensure that our street outreach teams and our emergency shelters have what they need to help people who are living unsheltered and who are interested in shelter to come inside. This is definitely a unique situation where we are engaging more often, more frequently, and really trying to determine how many people we believe and how we look to expand capacity at our shelters, and really working with our street outreach teams to really work to canvass our community and to ensure, again, those who want shelter are able to access an available shelter bed. So I'm really proud of the work of our partners with Roof Above, Salvation Army, My Sister's House, and Hearts for the Invisible, who are key partners on really ensuring that people have safe access to a warm bed throughout this winter event. We will be working with street outreach teams that are going out, like I said, sharing that, and then working to ensure that as people seek shelter at either a men's shelter or our women and family shelter, that they are able to have that shelter space. And that is all I had for today.
Next up, we have Stephen Bolt from Charlotte DOT.
Hey, good afternoon. My name is Stephen Bolt. I am the street superintendent for the Charlotte Department of Transportation. So as CDOT, just like everyone else, we're anticipating a significant icing event over the weekend that is going to carry into early next week for its impacts. So we have been proactively pre-treating streets yesterday, today, and through tomorrow until the event starts. So we're doing everything we can to prepare for this on the street side. We are also working in coordination with NCDOT, who are our partners responsible for treating interstates and state routes. At that time that the pre-treatment stops, we will transition into treating and fighting the ice potential that we're seeing. So our crews will come on tomorrow at 7 o'clock in the morning, and they will make that transition in the afternoon to start the process for fighting the ice. We will stay on shift until we have completely removed the ice from our primaries and our collector streets, and then focus on getting in the neighborhoods as we can. We ask that the public stays at home and allows us as transportation professionals to do our work and allow the first responders to do their work as well safely and effectively. We have treated almost 1,300 miles with Brian at this point. We're going to continue treating to tomorrow to make sure we get good coverage. You'll see us out there. You'll see NCDOT out there. When we transition to our B condition tomorrow around 1 o'clock, you should anticipate seeing the salt trucks out. We'll start applying material once the liquid starts coming down and start that fight, starting with our priorities. So we rely on a priority system to guide our event. And so priority ones are our major thoroughfares, moving down to minor thoroughfares, major collectors, minor collectors such as neighborhood collectors, and then in the neighborhoods. It is a lot of mileage, so we treat about 2,200 lane miles for this event, and it's probably going to take multiple cycles to fight this because it is low temperatures. But we've got our toolbox in place and we're ready to respond. Our crews are also creating extra signal assemblies so that we can be prepared if this ice comes, because it's one of our biggest concerns is that not only that our infrastructure and the ice will combat each other and potentially fail from the weight, but also all the trees that we're dealing with in Tree City are going to potentially create issues and take out our signal infrastructure. I can't stress enough, please stay home if you can. But if you have to go out, if you encounter a dark signal, understand that is a always stop condition. Please take your time, be safe. You also, please call 911 for any down lines. Don't try to cross them. Don't try to go under them. Don't approach them. You should anticipate that it is an extreme danger and stay back and call the proper authorities. They will respond. We will respond. We can't come out until that power has been safely removed. And so once that's done, we'll come restore our signals. We've got crews on call for that, so we are ready and willing to jump into action. So thank you.
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you for joining us today, and thank you to our community partners for being here and sharing this important information. Charlotte is prepared, but preparation doesn't stop with the city. The time is now to act before the storm arrives. Taking steps today can make a real difference in keeping yourself, your family, and your neighbors safe. Please take a moment to check your smoke alarms and carbon monoxide alarms and make sure they are working. These devices save lives. We'll now open the floor for any questions of any member up here.
This is from somebody at our station at WCNC Charlotte, another reporter, but we did want to ask for anybody that was here during the 2022 ice storm. The city records show that was the most devastating weather event of the last 25 years when it came to property damage costs. What's the extent of that property damage? What was the biggest concerns when it comes to the storm that we're looking at this weekend?
It was 2002.
It's all right. It was
No, you're good. Because my son was like an infant and I left my wife at home. She wasn't very happy at all at that time. And I came to work at like 2 in the morning and I was listening to John Hancock going down Providence Road. And he was there at the radio station. And at that time, we held an entire shift over. And it was so busy that we couldn't keep track of all the calls. And I remember walking on Fire Station 3 at, I don't know, 3 or 4 in the morning, and all the firefighters were laid out on the floor because they'd been up all night. So there's no one way to like figure out like how much damage. You know, that is a very, I'm always very leery when someone says, this is all the damage. Like, who counts that? I don't know. Where does that number come from? Well, we will say, and so for anybody, insurance is always your first line of defense. Okay? Make sure you have insurance. But then we're worried right now about lives. And so we want to make sure that that no one loses their life in Mecklenburg County because of this storm. We want to make sure that parents know where their kids are. We want to make sure that people are selling the message, stay off the roads. Be prepared now and stay off the roads. I don't know if that answers your question, but it's kind of difficult. Brett's got a question, of course. It's what he does.
I was just curious, in terms of like, what specifically will you guys be doing? What calls will the fire department be responsible for?
All the calls that we normally are responsible for, so, right? So fire, rescue, we run EMS calls with medic, make sure we take care of anytime, you know, fire department never says no. We go on everything, but we're gonna see those will be increased. So we expect on a normal day, we might run 200 to 400 calls. I would say during this storm, that would be magnified times 3 or 4. And so they're gonna be very busy, the firefighters are.
What do you anticipate most of the calls being?
Down power lines, power goes out. When it goes out, it's a problem because you have electrical issues. When it comes back on, you can also have electrical issues. People falling, people having accidents that didn't heed the warning to stay off the roads. Because there's nothing out there that fixes driving on ice, right? It's not a good idea. We've all been there. Man, I shouldn't have come out. We're driving on ice. There's nothing out there that will solve that problem for you. But we will be responding. So that's the other thing. Emergency services is going to come. We're going to do everything we can to get to everybody. But we're going to have our own challenges, right? So all of our police cars, our ambulances, our fire trucks, we are mission first. We're coming as soon as we can get there. We're not going to stop. We're going to go to that emergency call. Just keep that in mind. So, but we're also putting our own folks at risk. This is a risky job. If you work in emergency services, this is not a Walt Disney World. You didn't sign up for that. So, but yeah, we're coming.
Taking it back to 2002, what lessons did you all learn from that event, and what improvements have been made since then?
So, I don't want to. I was a rookie firefighter. You know, I was having a blast. We went to all kinds of stuff. But in all honesty, Charlotte and Mecklenburg County, we have a culture of preparedness here. We have a culture of emergency management. And when I say that, we had a call this morning with 90 people on there from the city, the county, the towns. All the city and town managers are tied in with emergency management. All the fire chiefs are tied together. All the police chiefs are tied together. The public works folks are tied together. Emergency management, our job is to connect all those resources. And so we're always working to make that better as we go forward. Are there challenges? Yes. And just to be clear, and I always tell everybody this, if you're in emergency management, you're probably always wrong. And what I mean by that is either the storm was way worse than we said it was going to be, or it wasn't bad enough. So the next time they'll say, oh, well, it's never as bad as they say. I'm past that. We prepare for the worst. And so our plan is always to be prepared for the extreme.
This is a question for Karen. Do you anticipate needing to open up larger facility spaces for our unhoused neighbors? I know the point in time count is at the forefront of a lot of people's minds this week. Just, what is your plan to maybe open up that extra space, especially if it's going to be through a couple days?
So I am really proud of the work that our homeless response system does to address the capacity and they are looking to add over 100 beds across our shelter system to help address more people that may be wanting and needing to come inside during this winter storm. So that'll be across Roof Above, Salvation Army, and my sister's house. We'll all be expanding their capacity.
And how do you really get through to people who you encounter on the streets if this is a life or death storm? I know you mentioned some people might not want to seek housing, but this doesn't seem like an option maybe.
I will say that we have a remarkable street outreach process. Hearts for the Invisible we started informing people, letting people know through the point in time count even yesterday that a winter storm was coming, to be prepared, be on the lookout for more information about where to go and when it will start. And so we are working with our street outreach team that's out there right now, letting people know where to go. And we're starting to anticipate more people starting to come in tonight to be able to be safe when it starts getting really bad tomorrow afternoon.
Karen, what exactly will the street outreach team be doing over the next 2 days?
Great question. And so what they do is canvass from the north to the south to the east to the west of this county. And so they're out there letting people know where to go for shelter, letting them know which bus may be running to go, offering to help transport people to shelter as well. They do a great job in ensuring that. Or if people are feeling comfortable and wanting to stay for a whole variety of reasons in where they're maybe living unsheltered, ensuring that they have additional blankets and supplies.
With the CMPD officer, I'm just curious, could you, sort of the same lines that I asked Deputy Chief Graham, can you just talk about what kind of calls you guys will be going to as opposed to, say, the fire department?
Yeah, we respond to all calls there's no change in what we respond to for emergencies like this, but as you heard, heed the warnings, right? You've heard the warnings over and over again. Don't become a victim yourself, and don't create a victim by having emergency response have to come to you because you made a choice to go do something that wasn't a necessity. So CMPD is fully operational. There's no change in procedures as of now, and we'll continue to, be out there. And we do ask you to call 311 or report a crime online for something that you wouldn't have to see an officer to reduce traffic on the road. But continue to heed the warning that you've heard from all the partners up here today. And please call 911 if you see a dangerous situation so that we can try to deter people from that and keep people safe.
We know that the wrecks tend to be a lot more than things like this. Are you guys bringing on more staff to try and handle the volume of wrecks?
Yeah, we've increased staffing through our communications and patrol, and then we're going to have partners in the emergency center here with the team all weekend. So that'll be a priority for us. And again, try to stay off the road. Try to pre-plan today, tomorrow, so that you don't have to get in your car or touch your car throughout the entire incident. Thank you.
All right, that'll wrap up this. Thank you all for joining us. Remember, smoke alarms, carbon monoxide alarms save lives. Stay off the roads, let these people work. Thank you.